G'day fellas, welcome to another episode of 4RunnerTV. Today we're replacing the windshield wiper regulator assembly on a 1989 4Runner wagon. Now to start off, I've got the 12mm spanner here. Just pop the plastic cover off the top of the wiper assembly, off the bolt, and just crack the nut and unspin it there. Just a 12mm nut, and just place those down somewhere where you're going to remember them, obviously. Same on the other side, just pop the cover off. Now as you can see there, that's the reason we're replacing the regulator assembly. It's got a lot of free play in it, it's very loose, and at highway speeds the wipers will actually fly up past where they're supposed to go and come flying off the windscreen, and at low speeds they drop too low down and they end up on this cowl panel here. So that's the reason for replacing it. Now with the wipers, just lift them up and a little crack forwards and they'll come off their splines quite easily. Place them down where you'll remember them, where you won't stand on them. Same again, just crack it forwards, comes off the splines nicely, slip him off and onto the ground. There's three phillips head screws to undo on this cowl panel. So we'll just undo that one, place him down where you won't forget him. Now I was going to reach in and grab the middle one, but mine's missing, so that's fine. Around the other side we go, and undo the other one there. Now as I was saying before, the reason we replaced this reg is because of the free play. I'll show you the free play in a sec, that you get in the small O-ring. Now we've just got the pliers here. I'm just going to pop, there's a couple of little push clips, you just got to pop them off on each side. But yeah, the reason we're replacing it, we get a bit of free play in the O-ring. I think it might be quite common in these 4Runners, and hopefully this video helps a few of you guys out in replacing your regulator assembly to obviously stop the crazy flying windscreen wiper assembly. Just having a bit of trouble here with this one. Pop him down where you can get him again, and off with the other one. They're a bit of a bugger to get these things, but you just got to work at them, try and get right underneath them, otherwise you might rip the side of it off, and they're just a bit of a bugger to try and get free. But once you do, off they go, and then you just slide him out first from underneath the seal, and then up off the splines, clear both the splines where the wipers actually go onto, and then just out that way, straight up. So clear everything and you're free. You obviously don't drop him on your windscreen. You get a nice crack in it. Place him down somewhere nice and safe, and then 10mm with a small extension. I've got a 3/8 drive ratchets here with a small extension and a 10mm socket on the end. You got 4 10mm here to undo. This is your wiper motor assembly. So off they come. You just want to, just undo all 4 of those. Now with these, they don't come all the way out, so you don't need to undo them all the way. You just need to crack them, undo them about 3/4 away, and the assembly should fall loose. Now you can't really see very well, but I am trying to point at a clip there that you can slide in behind the frame, just like that, and then it gives you a bit of leverage to be able to pull back on the motor assembly, and it should pop just like that, straight off the connector there, where there should be an O-ring, but there isn't. So that little circular connector on the end of just here on the end of the regulator assembly, is actually missing the O-ring that holds onto that ball on the motor assembly. Then we just drop the bonnet stay, and then back around to the side where we have to undo 3 10mm nuts each side of the splined arms that hold the wiper arms. So there's just 3 10mm, just loosen them off, and then once you're finished with those, they'll drop inside of that channel, and then it'll give you the ability to slide the wiper regulator assembly out. Now you can see there's 3 holes in the top of that panel that don't have anything covering them. I noticed on my parts vehicle there that they had plastic covers that just clip in, and mine are obviously missing. So on your vehicle, you should find 3 plastic covers over those, and they're quite simple. Just obviously push in the plastic clip, pull out and remove the cover. And on this side here, this far one, which is the biggest one, you'll just have to remove that black plastic cover there. It's only the one that you need to remove. And once that's been removed, it gives you the ability to pull the regulator assembly out of that inspection hole. So that's just the 6 nuts removed, and then hand in there where you've removed your cover, pull out obviously first, backwards, and then pull him out of the hole. Now, this one's obviously the junk one, so it's not a big deal, but when you get your new one, try and keep it, as you can see I've laid it flat on the tailgate, try and keep it in the position that it comes out when you remove it from your donor vehicle or parts vehicle or wreck. That way, when you install it, it makes life a whole lot easier. And you can see there the O-ring, missing O-ring. So really all I should have done was just replace the O-ring, but you can see there's a fair bit of slack in the arms as well as worn out in general. This one's from a 94, so it's much newer and in better nick. And it was free out of my parts vehicle, so why not? So in it goes, same as removal, just slide it straight back in. But as I was saying, try to keep it all in the exact position that it comes out. That way you can see here, it's nice and easy. I just lean over, get the 10s, drop them back in, and everything lines up perfectly. I've found when I've done these jobs on other vehicles that if you go to the wreckers, pull out your regulator assembly, throw her in the boot, and it gets all, into whatever position it wants in the boot, flying around and jumping around and carrying on. Then you get home, you pull it out, you take out your old one, you go to put your new one in, and you don't know which way things are facing, and so you line it up sort of the best way you can, and then when you put your arms on and you give it a test, it might do its own thing. You might find that the wipers are actually, they might drop lower, or they might go down and then back up before they've finished their cycle, which I've had happen before. You put your arms on and everything and you test it, your wipers will go up where they're supposed to, then they'll come down, they'll drop too far onto the cowling, and then they'll come back up again, and that's the end of the cycle, which is silly. Obviously you can't have that. You've got to have them just come down up the way they're supposed to. So just be wary of that, just food for thought for when you're removing your regulator assembly. And it's, as you can see here, it's helped me a heap. It's just dropped straight in the way it's supposed to, nice and easy, everything bolts back in exactly the way it came out. So 10 mils again, 3 each side. Now don't hang off these like Tarzan, you just need to tighten them up. Just nip them up and till they bottom out, and then about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn just to seat them. Like I said, you don't want to swing off them, you just want to make sure they're nice and firm. Now you just need to pull out the circle connector. I don't know what its real name is, but yeah, circle connector will do. Anyway, I've just noticed here that there's a bit of grease in there, so I thought, well hang on, maybe I should put a bit of grease on this one. So I've gone into the workshop and I've got this Liplex stuff. It's not bad gear, automotive high temperature grease, multi-purpose sort of stuff, so it's not going to kill it to put a bit of grease on it. If there was grease already there, that's always a good thing, so just a little bit of grease on it. Wipe the old finger off, and then I can go get my shop rag. Shop's looking pretty messy at the moment actually, so we need to give it a tidy up. Wipe the finger, just spread that grease around nice and evenly on there. You don't want big massive blobs of grease hanging off it everywhere, just a smear, just enough to lubricate it, similar to the way it was already lubricated. And then obviously pop it back in that little frame holding clip so that it gives you the leverage and support you need to be able to pop that the ball back on, and then seat him back where he goes and just get one screw started. That way it'll sit nicely. finger off again, it's covered in grease. And then obviously you've got your 410mm to do up. Again, same with those, not too tight on those, just enough so that they're seated. And then that's just a clip for the power to the motor. I didn't show the removal of that, but nice and simple, obviously just unclip it and pull it out, and then clip it back in when you're done. Back on with the cowling. It just slides in the exact same way that it came out. So just slide it in underneath first and just get it over the two splined arms that hold onto the wiper arms. These can be a bit tricky to get back in, and you just got to try and get him in under the seal there. So just work at it and slide it in, drop it in over the holes, and then in under the seal. Then obviously you just need to put back in your 3 screws here, just with the Stubby Phillips headed screwdriver again. So once you've got it all centered and lined up where you want it, back in under the seal and aligned with the holes, just pop the screws back in and just tighten them down nicely. I went to try and find a 3rd screw for mine off the parts vehicle, but I'm not too sure where I put it. I'll find one. Chuck one back in there. And this is obviously my other side. So tighten them down nicely, and then the 2 pop clips on either sides as well, just pop them back in as well. Now once you put that cowl panel back on, you just want to drop the bonnet back down and just pop both your wiper arms back on. Now to put them back on, it's pretty easy. You don't need to worry too much about where it sits to start with, so just place it on somewhere. And also grab the other one and pop him on. Then it's just a matter of, you just start to tighten the 12mm nut down until you can feel it tension, and then lift the arm. You'll feel it drop into the splines and seat, and from there you can tighten it all the way down. You just have to hold that arm, leave a bit of pressure on it so that it doesn't try and move forward at you. When you're happy with it, drop him down, and then obviously do that to the other side. And once they're both tight, you just want to squirt a bit of water on the screen and give them a test. So once I've squirted it with water, got them to start to move, you can see already that they're not carrying on like the other ones were, not that you knew what the other ones were doing. But just for a test, squirt some water, and then you want to go back around and see where they end up. And you can see there, the left hand one, driver's side, is perfect. Left hand from this angle is perfect. The right hand side one, passenger side, was down too far, so it had dropped down onto the cowling, onto the rubber seal, and that's the reason I wanted to do this fix, is because I didn't want it to slowly chew away my rubber seal. So just crack that nut, move it up 1 spline tooth, tighten the nut back down, and then another test. So once you've squirted some water on the screen, just go around and see where that wiper ends up. And as you can see here, it's perfect. It's no longer rubbing on the screen, so it's all fixed now. Everything's operating correctly. So thanks very much for watching 4RunnerTV, guys, and I hope this video helped.